Hey guys, in this video, sorry, kept moving. In this video, I'm going to be graphing a hyperbola. So let me write the equation up here. So this is going to be y plus 2 squared over 64 minus x plus 5. Nope. X minus 5 squared over 36 equals 1. Okay, so this is our equation, and we're going to be graphing this. So the very first thing that I noticed about this equation is that the first term is the term with the y in it, which means that this is going to be a vertical hyperbola. In other words, it's going to open up and down. So the y term is first. This is going to open up and down. So the very first thing that I want to plot on my graph is going to be my center. That's always going to be true, though. You always want to do your center first. So the center is at -2, +5. So I come over to -2, +5, and my center is right here. Sort of. Okay. So that's my center. And then I know that the first one is always a, or a squared, I should say. So if a squared is 64, then a is 8, right? So if a is 8, and this is a vertical hyperbola, then I'm going to go up and down 8. So if y is first, then I go up and down in the a is in the up and down direction. The thing, regardless of whether or not what's first or second, the thing under the y is always going to be in the up and down direction, and the thing under the x is always going to be in the left and right direction. So if you can get that, that's a good start. And then whatever is first tells you where to actually draw your hyperbola. So 8 squared is under the y, so a is 8. So we're going to go up and down 8. So we're here at -2. We're going to go up 8. So that's 2, 7, 8, right? So we went up 8, and then we're going to go down 8. So down 8 is down here at -10. So these are our vertices. So our hyperbola is going to come out from here, but we don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet. We need to plot our asymptotes first. So to plot our asymptotes, we need b. So let's get b. So b squared is 36. So b is 6, right? And that's under the x. So it's going to be in the xy direction. So we're going 6 to the left and 6 to the right. So we're going to be here, and we're going to be here. All right, 6 to the left and 6 to the right. And now we're going to make our box. So we're going to take all of these, and we're going to connect them. Oops, I didn't go far enough. Connect them with this box. And our asymptotes are going to go through the corners of this box. So the equation of the asymptotes, we're going to find the equations, but we don't actually need them to graph it because they're just going to go through the corners of the box. If you want to figure out your slope first and help you graph it, make it straighter, that's fine. Right, in this case, it would be a over b, because remember, a in this case is in the vertical direction, so it's going to be 8 over 6 is going to be our slope. 8 over 6 is 4 over 3, so up 4 over 3. So if you want to use that to help you plot points, we'd have a point right here, And obviously the corner is going to be a point, and then that's going to be true in this direction as well. And then, of course, you're going to have the same line, but with a negative slope in this direction. So and then we can plot our asymptotes. So they're going to go through like that. So we have our asymptotes. And now, well, real quick, I'm just going to write the equations for the asymptotes so we can see it. It's going to be y equals plus or minus. Again, we said it was a over b, or 8 over 6. 8 over 6 is 4 over 3, so we're just going to write that in reduced form. Times x minus 5, right? X minus the center point, minus 2, because the center point for y is negative 2. The coordinate, the y coordinate of the center point is negative 2. So this is our equations for our asymptotes. Now let's actually draw our hyperbola. So all of this was basically set up. None of this is actually a part of the hyperbola except for the vertices. So now we can actually graph our hyperbola. So I'm going to switch to a different color. And starting from the vertex, I'm just going to draw it heading toward those asymptotes. So we're going out, and we're going out towards the asymptotes. And that's our hyperbola. Ta-da! One last thing we have to do is we have to find our foci. So I'm going to do that in green just to show different color. So again, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, which is 64 plus 36, which is 100. So c squared is 100, c is 10. Okay. So we're going to go 10 out from our center. So we're here. And 10 out from our center on the other direction is here. So these green dots are our foci. And remember that your graph is not complete without the foci, so don't forget them. So the hyperbola itself are the red parts. Green is the foci, and blue was essentially set up. So that's what we use to figure out how wide. Oh no, I graphed this wrong. Guys. Remember when I said that this was a vertical hyperbola and then I drew a horizontal one? That's so not good. I did it wrong. Okay. This is a vertical hyperbola. I don't know if any of you watching this caught that. I said it was a vertical hyperbola like 5 times at the beginning of the video, and then I completely spaced and I drew a horizontal one. So be careful of that. It's one good thing about watching me make mistakes is that you get to think about them and hopefully not make them yourself. So the foci are going to be 10 up and down from the center. It's still 10. It's just 10 up and down from the center instead of right and left. So that's going to be here and here. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Here is 10. This is 10. And this is 10. Sorry about that. I'll erase the one that's wrong. Okay. So the red part is the hyperbola, and the green parts are the foci. And I am so sorry for graphing that whole thing wrong. The setup was right. Basically, the setup, the blue part, is not really dependent on whether it's vertical or horizontal, because whatever's under the y is how far you go in the vertical direction. Whatever's under the x is how far you go in the xy direction. A squared plus b squared is c squared. So c doesn't even really depend on which one's a and which one's b. Doesn't really matter. What matters is once you graph the hyperbola, that if y is first, then the hyperbola is up and down. If x is first, then it would be right and left. So essentially, if these two terms had been switched, right? If these two terms had been switched, then the first thing that I had drawn would have been correct. So if this whole thing had switched place with this whole thing, then the first thing I drew would have been the right graph. But because y was first, it needed to be up and down. So hopefully that helps. I know it's a lot of pieces, a lot of things to remember, but the table in the book could be really helpful for that, and also hopefully this video. And so I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.